If you're gearing up for your first day of bouldering, you probably search for exactly what you need to know. And the internet will immediately try to throw a bunch of jargon at you about dynamic movement, crimp strength, and tendon loading. You don't need any of that. Your first day is really just about three things: surviving shoes that feel 2 sizes too small, learning how to fall without panicking, and accepting that a brightly colored piece of plastic is about to completely humble you. So here's the actual survival guide. No ego, no complicated techniques, just everything you actually need to know to walk in, have a good time, and not look completely lost on day one. Step 1 is the front desk. You're going to sign a waiver. This is standard procedure. Bouldering is a sport where you will fall, sometimes on purpose, mostly not, and the gym just needs you to legally acknowledge that gravity exists before you step onto the mats. Next, you will rent shoes. Do not try to climb in your running shoes. The gym won't let you, and even if they did, running shoes have the climbing capability of wet soap. Rental shoes are supposed to be tight. Your toes will feel like they're trapped in a very firm, slightly aggressive hug. As long as it doesn't actively feel like a medical emergency, you're golden. When you look at the walls for the first time, it just looks like a giant box of Skittles, but there is a logic to the madness. A bouldering wall is usually around 12 to 15 feet tall. It's high enough to trigger a basic survival instinct, but low enough that you don't need ropes or harnesses. Underneath everything is a massive, incredibly thick padded floor. You will spend a surprising amount of your first session right here, not climbing, just sitting, resting, and quietly questioning your general fitness level. Every specific route is called a problem. Every problem is color-coded. If you start on a blue hold, you can only use blue holds all the way to the top. If your foot accidentally brushes against a yellow hold on the way up, that's called a dab. Nobody is going to blow a whistle and throw you out for doing it on your first day, but you will feel a mild internal sense of shame. To figure out which color you should actually try, you need to look at the grades. Most gyms use the V scale, starting at V0 and going up from there. Here is the honest breakdown of what these numbers mean for a beginner. V0 is essentially a vertical ladder. It is specifically designed so that anyone can get to the top on their very first try. You will still find it surprisingly tiring because your body isn't used to moving this way, but it's your starting point. V1 and V2 are where you will spend the rest of your first day. These are this looks completely doable until I actually try to leave the ground climbs. You will fall off these. Everyone does. If you see anything labeled V5 or higher, just look away. Those are for people who have traded their human tendons for steel cables. All right, you've picked a wall. How do you actually start? Look for the holds labeled with a start tag. Place both hands on the hold and then, this is the important part, lift your feet completely off the mat. You have to be fully supported by the wall before you make your first move. Climbers call this establishing. Once you're on the wall, your instinct is going to tell you to bend your arms and pull yourself up like you're doing a continuous fitness pull-up. Do not do this. Your arms will burn out in exactly 4 moves. Instead, keep your arms straight. Hang from your skeleton and use your legs to push yourself upward. Your legs carry you around all day. Let them do the heavy lifting here. Which brings us to the 3 mistakes literally everyone makes on day 1. First, as we just mentioned, is the T-Rex arms. Keeping your elbows constantly bent drains your forearm strength like an open drain. Straight arms are happy arms. Second is staring only at your hands. When you're clear off the ground, you get hyper-focused on what you're holding onto. But climbing is entirely built from the feet up. Look down, find your next foot placement, stand up on it, and then look for your next handhold. Third is holding your breath. For some reason, the human brain decides that the best way to survive being 4 feet up a wall is to stop inhaling oxygen. You will find yourself mid-route realizing you haven't breathed in 30 seconds. Remind yourself to exhale on the hard moves. Breathing is free and it genuinely helps. Eventually, you are going to fall, or you're going to reach the top and realize you have to get back down. Falling is at least 50% of bouldering, so knowing how to do it safely is the most important thing you need to know. When you drop, do not try to stick a rigid landing like an Olympic gymnast. That is a direct ticket to a sprained ankle. Instead, let the mat do the work. Land on your feet with soft, bent knees and immediately roll backward onto your backside and shoulders. Keep your arms tucked into your chest. Don't try to break your fall with your wrists, and if you lose your grip mid-climb, just let go. Don't try to frantically grab random holds on your way down to save yourself. You will just scrape your arms or twist a finger. Trust the mats. They are incredibly thick for a reason. Before you start climbing, there are 2 quick unwritten rules of gym etiquette you need to know so you don't accidentally annoy the regulars. First, look up before you walk. The mats are a landing zone. Never walk directly underneath someone who is currently on the wall because they could become a projectile at any moment. Second, don't give unsolicited advice. In the climbing world, giving someone the solution to a route without them asking is called spraying beta. Even if you see exactly what they're doing wrong, let them figure it out. Part of the fun of bouldering is solving the puzzle yourself. About 2 hours after you get home from your first session, your body will experience something unique. You will try to do something basic, like turn a doorknob or open a jar, and your hands will simply refuse to cooperate. Climbers call this being pumped. Your forearms are full of lactic acid, and your grip strength has temporarily left the building. Your fingertips will also feel a bit warm and tender from the rough texture of the holds. This is completely normal. Within a few sessions, your skin adapts, your muscles adjust, and you stop feeling like you got run over by a mattress. Your first day is always going to be a little clumsy, a little tiring, and incredibly humbling, but that is exactly what makes it fun. Rent the shoes, keep your arms straight, and just enjoy the process. If you found this survival guide helpful, pass it along to whoever you're dragging to the gym with you. Let me know in the comments how your first day went, and I'll see you in the next one.